Closer to reopening, one Kansas representative weighs in on what he thinks should happen next. And JROTC students honor the fallen by placing flags at headstones ahead of Veterans Day. KOIM News at 10 is next.
The government could reopen within days as lawmakers inch closer to ending the stalemate. I'm Erica Brown with more from Capitol Hill on the breakthrough funding plan.
Kansas Congressman Dirk Schmidt shares when he expects a House vote to end the government shutdown. I'm Blake Gully and I'll have that story coming up.
And Kansas Governor Laura Kelly makes a stop in Southeast Kansas today to mark the end of a speaking tour.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
After 41 days, an end to the nation's longest ever government shutdown might be in sight. This is KOIM News. I'm Dow Quick. The Senate passed funding legislation tonight that could bring the shutdown to an end this week. Coming up in a bit, we're going to hear from a Kansas representative who weighs in on the vote and what he thinks opening the government back up will look like. But first, as Erica Brown reports, this move by the Senate tonight comes as thousands of flight cancellations and delays continue.
The Senate passed funding legislation Monday, taking a major step toward ending the government shutdown after a group of Democrats broke with their party and voted with Republicans to end the stalemate. Earlier in the day, Republican lawmakers expressed gratitude for the progress made towards ending the historic shutdown.
It appears to us this morning that our long national nightmare is finally coming to an end, and we're grateful for that.
The agreement funds the government through January 30th, reverses shutdown-related layoffs, and guarantees back pay to all federal workers. It also includes 3 longer appropriations bills with funding for SNAP benefits. The deal does not include an extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits, a key demand from Democrats during the shutdown, only the promise of a vote in December.
The overwhelming majority of Senate Democrats, led by Leader Schumer, are opposing this bill. We're going to continue that fight to fix our broken healthcare system.
President Trump said he supports the deal.
Too bad it was close, but we'll be opening up our country very quickly.
The amended bill will still need House approval, and Speaker Mike Johnson urged members to return to Washington quickly for a possible vote. If the House can pass the measure with these changes, it heads to the president for his signature. As the deal works its way through Congress, flight disruptions continue at airports nationwide. On Monday, more than 2,000 flights were canceled.
I miss my assignments at school. I have we've been here for 3 days because of planes. That shouldn't be happening.
In a social media post, President Trump urged air traffic controllers to return to work, threatening to dock their pay, but said he would recommend a $10,000 bonus for those who stayed on the job during the shutdown. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Those who rely on SNAP food benefits remain in limbo. The Trump administration ordered states to undo steps taken to restore full benefits as legal challenges move through the courts. Kansas Congressman Dirk Schmidt says the House could soon vote by midweek on the Senate spending bill, a move that could finally end the government shutdown. KOIM's Blake Gully sat down with him in the studio this afternoon to talk about the timeline and the impact on 4-state families.
For over a month, the federal government shutdown has put pressure on workers and families, from senior citizens and veterans to those relying on SNAP benefits. Congressman Dirk Schmidt says House leadership is preparing to act on the pending bill, but the exact timeline depends on when the Senate's paperwork reaches their chamber.
It could be immediate, could be a few days. I'm currently planning on headed back tomorrow, the evening of Veterans Day. That way I'll be sure to be there for Wednesday or Thursday. Most likely now it looks like a House vote Wednesday or Thursday.
The congressman also discussed rising health care premiums. It's an issue that prompted Democrats in the Senate to vote against the spending bill. Schmidt says he's reviewing new ideas that could lower costs by shifting how federal dollars are used.
It's an idea to try to take the money and instead of subsidizing the insurance companies directly, use it to empower individuals to make more of their care choices. That can inject some market forces that can maybe go toward dealing with the underlying healthcare costs. And for some people, it could actually be better off because you'd be able to cover things like copays and deductibles or out-of-pocket costs that otherwise exist. So a lot of ideas, just need to get to yes on something.
Schmidt says he'd like to see House Democrat support for the spending bill, but adds Republicans have enough votes to move forward without them. Blake Gully, KOAM News.
You can hear more from Congressman Schmidt in his full sit down with Blake Gully. That's on our website. You see it there, KOAMnewsnow.com. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly makes a stop on her statewide listening tour, a stop in Pittsburgh today, gathering input from residents on how Kansas should spend taxpayer dollars. The 8-city People's Budget Tour follows a heated budget dispute between the Democratic governor and Republican-controlled legislature this spring. Today's stop gives four-staters a voice in shaping priorities for education, healthcare, infrastructure, and public safety funding before the 2026 legislative session. Governor Kelly wraps up her budget listening tour on Wednesday with a final stop in Wichita. It's cold out there. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
It definitely turned out to be a chilly one for us today. Temperatures, they started near 20 during the morning hours. We had wind chill factors in the single digits. We only got to about 39 today. We have some clouds increasing over the past couple hours, and that's what we are going to see tonight. But that may actually keep our temperatures up a little bit. So partly cloudy skies. Look at this. We rise into the mid-30s by the morning hours. Partly sunny on your Tuesday. I think most of us will go into lower 60s, which is way better than what we saw today. And then tomorrow night, we'll drop back upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Look at that. We didn't even make it to 39. We hit 37 today, started at 20. Look at that average high of 61 degrees. Now, we're going to get closer to this number and that number over the next few days. We'll talk about it here in a bit.
See you soon. A crash involving a semi in Wilson County, Kansas, claims the lives of 2 adults and a child. Happened west of Neodesha at the intersection of US 400 and Granby Avenue this morning. The Highway Patrol says a westbound car failed to stop at a stop sign and was hit by a northbound semi-truck. 3 people in that car died in that crash. They are Adam and Kylie Brooks, both age 21, and 2-year-old Cohen Brooks, all from Neodesha. The semi-driver was not hurt. Firefighters responded to an early morning house fire in Columbus. The call came in just before 2 a.m. Crews fought the fire as well as hot spots for about 3 hours. While authorities say the residence was a total loss, both the homeowner and the pet dog made it safely out of that house. Preliminary investigation suggests a wood stove in the garage caused that fire. JROTC cadets showed their respect for soldiers. Coming up, students plant flags at Webb City Cemetery, and a groundbreaking ceremony launches Pitt State's newest campus edition aimed at hands-on learning. JROTC students from Carl Junction paid their respects to veterans today. The cadets placed flags at the Mount Hope Cemetery in Webb City ahead of Veterans Day tomorrow. Students also placed flags along range line on the eastern edge of the cemetery. They filled out their busy day with a trip to the Veterans Memorial Wall. This marks the 3rd year of the JROTC program at Carl Junction. Pitt State today broke ground on a new 47,000 square foot educational building next to the Tyler Research Center. It's called the Prove Out Facility. It'll give students more opportunities for hands-on learning with the hope of increasing economic development possibilities within the community.
Students will be part of the research and the innovative practice and in investigating new ideas and coming out with solutions again that could really support industry and professional partners in making an economic impact for the real world problems that exist in our region.
That facility is going to cost $12 million and includes state and federal funding. It's expected to be completed in 2026. And with that ringing, the 2025 Salvation Army kettle season kicks off. This morning, the Salvation Army of Jasper and Newton County started off their kettle season, honoring bell ringers who've now raised the most money and had the most spirit last year. This season is the most important fundraising season for the Salvation Army.
You know, raising money with our kettles is the biggest fundraiser we have. You know, we send some mailing out for mail appeal money, but for the most part, a lot of our money comes in with our kettles. Our goal this year is $152,000. just for kettles alone. Our overall Christmas goal is 350.
There are still a lot of spots open for bell ringers with the Salvation Army. While millions of Americans wait for SNAP benefits to be released, food banks across southwest Missouri have seen a big increase in new families using their services. Ozarks Food Harvest purchased more than $500,000 in extra food for the increased demand. They've helped feed hundreds and say it's not an overnight fix.
Fortunately, it's not just like a light switch coming back on. There will still be a lot of time to calculate all the funds that go to each state, and as well as issuing checks to those federal workers that haven't been receiving one for a month and a half. So we still have to make sure that we have supplies on hand to make sure that it is a clean handoff for folks that have been waiting for checks or benefits and that they're not going hungry in the meantime.
Ozarks Food Harvest also released an extra $300,000 in grant money to their other agencies to help make sure they can meet demand. Grocery prices might be higher these days, but expect your Thanksgiving meal to be a little cheaper. Costs have dropped 2 to 3% this year, according to a Wells Fargo analysis. Consumers buying store brand should expect to pay about $80 for a Thanksgiving meal that'll feed 10 people. That's according to the financial services company Empower. The analysis shows branded names will push the cost up about $15. Doug returns next with a complete look at your forecast, and a little bit later, medical students in Arkansas find a way to make the doctor's visit a little more bearable for some young children.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a chilly Monday, but we had quite a bit of sunshine across the region. In the next few days, we start to warm things back up. So good news there as we get back near average and above, actually. Look at the snow back through the Ohio River Valley. For us, we just have the clouds, so partly cloudy, thin clouds, mid and upper level clouds as we go through the night. Temperatures are near our overnight low right now. We're going to rise toward dawn, mid-30s to kick off your Tuesday. We'll call it partly sunny. Very windy. Look at these southwesterly winds streaming in here through the morning into the afternoon hours. But in return, we warm up. So we go into lower 60s, 60 in Stockton, 62 in Anderson, Miami, 64 Chanute, up to about 64 degrees. Partly cloudy. Tuesday night, we have a weak little wind shift line. So it's a weak cold front, doesn't really have any cold air behind it. So wind shift line that kind of hangs out on top of us and gives us kind of northeasterly winds as we go into Wednesday. But look at this. We still go upper 60s to near 70 by Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday night, a few more clouds, not near as cold. We drop back lower 40s. So Wednesday night will be warmer than our high temperature that we had today. Look at these southerly winds. These get moving tomorrow. We're going to have gusts 30, 35, 40, maybe a 42, maybe a 43, especially during the morning hours. They slowly come down during the afternoon, then kind of back to normal tomorrow night, and then heading into Wednesday. Day planner 38 start, 55 by noon, high temp, 62 degrees. And the reason we are colder, look at the wind arrows right out of Canada. So we have the cold air in place, the eastern half of the country. Then we'll start to tap into this ridge of high pressure, and in return, we will start to warm up. Let's take a look at it. Look at our ridge rolling in through the middle of the week. No big storm systems. We stay nice and quiet, warmer, breezy across the region. Then we're going to start to track this upper level low, kind of cut off from the main flow of the jet. So it's a slow mover, should get in here late Sunday and then into Monday and passes by. And then we reload, another system will drop in as we go through the middle of next week. Makes me happy. We got some weather action as we go through next week. This week, pretty calm, and we start to warm up. Let me take you toward the weekend. Here's mid 70s on Friday. Look at Saturday, mid 70s. Saturday should be dry. Rain increases late Sunday, Sunday night into Monday. We could get some thunderstorms. Some of those could be a little loud, but we're going to watch that over the next few days. And then this system rolls out. Then we get another storm system trying to roll in by the middle of next week. So potential rainfall over about the next week or so. A lot of us could get a half an inch, maybe an inch. We'll have to see where those heavier bands set up as we get a little closer to that system. No rain tomorrow, 62, 67 on Wednesday, 72 on Thursday, 76 and windy by Friday.
Doug, thanks. The CPKC holiday train is going to roll back into our area this month. The train is going to make a stop in Pittsburgh at 11 a.m. on Saturday, November 29th, then on to a stop in Joplin at 1 p.m. Again, November 29th. The holiday train combines an engine and train cars specifically decorated for the season. One of the center box cars converts into a stage for a live 30-minute holiday music performance. Smash Mouth and J.J. Wild will perform. The holiday train raises money, food, and awareness for food bank support. For more information, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. If you're ever looking for information on events like this right here in the 4 states, but you don't know where to turn, well, we've got you covered. This handy QR code will take you straight to the events page of our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Just scan it with your phone. You can do it right now. You'll find information on all kinds of family fun events, including more Veterans Day events and fall festivals. The events page at KOAMnewsnow.com. Still ahead, the vote is in on our high school football performance of the week winner, and Webb City and Carl Junction soccer square off in the district championship. Ben McLeish has those stories and more up next in sports.
You've got the car, we've got the buyers.
Two of our local Missouri high school soccer teams battle it out tonight in the district championship with a spot in the state tournament on the line. The Webb City Cardinals take on the Carl Junction Bulldogs. It's blistering cold in this one, making it difficult on the offenses. Second half tied at 0. Jake Annis with a free kick, and Carl Junction's Blake Miller is able to catch it to prevent the Webb City score. Cardinals again with a corner kick, this time Abe Daniel just off the mark. Webb heavy on offense in the second half, but still no score, so we head to overtime. Tied at 0, a much different game than earlier in the season. Another corner kick for Webb, this time Diego Aldrete, but Miller all over it again. He gets the save, and here we go. Bulldogs finally showing some good pressure. And check this out, 2 Cardinals get stripped up with the Bulldogs, including Webb's goalie, and that opens up Jaden Walker to sneak by and strike it into the net. That's a golden goal for Carl Junction, and just like that, the Bulldogs are district champions for the first time since 2016. Carl Junction defeats Webb City 1-0 in overtime and the spot in the state tournament. Well, every Friday night during Press Box, we ask our viewers to vote on who they think dominated on the field. Today, the vote is in. For the second straight week, Colgan running back Clayton Adamson earns your vote thanks to his playoff performances. On Friday, Adamson tallied 5 total touchdowns, including a punt return touchdown in the Panthers' 56-0 shutout win over Troy. Friday marked this year's final week of Press Box, so thanks to all that watched and voted the past few months. But don't worry, our coverage of playoff football will continue throughout the end of the season. A couple of Gorillas earn MIAA Football Athlete of the Week honors. Quarterback Jackson Berry is the Offensive Athlete of the Week. Berry tossed for 296 yards and 2 touchdowns, adding 50 yards on the ground, throwing 0 picks, and leading the Gorillas to a 48-35 win over the Mules. And for the 4th time in 5 weeks, place kicker Austin Schmidt is a Special Teams Athlete of the Week. Schmidt went 2 for 2 on field goals and nailed all 6 of his extra point attempts. What a season for the junior kicker. Pitt State volleyball middle blocker Anna Dean earns MIAA honors after her impressive performances this week. She tallied 23 kills and 20 blocks in the Gorillas matches against UCO and Arkansas Fort Smith. And even more good news out of Pittsburgh. The men's cross-country team earns an at-large bid to the NCAA National Championships. It's the program's 10th all-time trip. They'll join the Lady Gorillas, who already earned an automatic bid in Kenosha, Wisconsin on November 22nd. Missouri Southern failed to qualify for nationals as a team, but Jaden Deaton and Chase Sorrell are headed to Kenosha to compete as individuals representing the Lions. Well, that's it for sports. We're back with more after this.
Jr., a four-state hero.
Another cold night tonight. Temperatures down into the upper 20s for overnight lows, but look at tomorrow. 62, very windy. We're going to have winds gusting 40, maybe 45, especially during the morning hours. 67 on Wednesday, 72 on Thursday, 76 on Friday. Rain chances re-enter the forecast by Sunday.
Doug, thanks. A lot of people don't like going to the doctor. It can be especially scary for kids. Bryant Kwilecki has the story of medical students in Arkansas who held a teddy bear clinic to give some kindergartners a hands-on look at how the medical field actually works.
They go into nursing. There's not a big emphasis on pediatrics, so this is a good opportunity for them to come interact with these kids on the level that they need to.
Right now we focus so much on older adults. For some reason we don't really necessarily lean towards kids. So the interactions and then their environment helps us get so much more familiar.
Medical students from the Northeast Arkansas Career and Technical Center are doing more than just hitting the books. They are also helping little kindergartners get over their fear of going to the doctor. It's a win-win situation.
It's very scary for children to go to the doctor. Even just for them to see someone in PPE gear, medical gear, scares them.
The kids got decked out in PPE gear, masks, and even got their own stethoscopes. Then they took their teddy bears to different stations, learning all about what doctors and nurses do.
I love interacting with the little kids. I love showing them how you shouldn't be scared to go to the doctor's office. You should actually be happy because they're trying to help you out.
Instructors say they hope the teddy bear clinic helps nursing students learn patience. I'm sure the kids learned a thing or two or three as well. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.